It has begun here at the Washington Monument, Washington, D.C. Say hello to Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be here, bro.
This is our fearless leader.
Hey, baby.
Danny Hamilton.
Check out my flag I made, guys. You see it? There you go, baby. That's for a certain person.
That's right. That's for somebody special. Somebody special. All right. We are basically at the Capitol with probably close to 2 million true American patriots. They are swarming and converging mainly from Constitution Avenue, but from all routes in. There's no escape, Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler. We're coming for you. We're coming in like white on rice for Pelosi, Nadler, Schumer, even you, AOC. We're coming to take you out. We'll pull you out by your hairs. How about that, Pelosi? Go, might as well make yourself another appointment. I'll get done with you. You're gonna need a shine up on top of that bald head.
This is the latest video to be released by the January 6th committee. Now let me say right off the bat that I obviously can't confirm that Representative Loudermilk knew what his guests were doing or that they were on a reconnaissance tour of the Capitol. That's a question for prosecutors and not me. But I will say that there is certainly a lot of evidence that that's the case. So let's go through some of the most important points. First of all, on Republican Representative Loudermilk himself, on June 14th he tweeted, "The truth will always prevail. As I've said since the January 6th committee made their baseless accusation against me in the media, I never gave a tour of the Capitol on January 5th, 2021. Cut 2, the January 6th committee releases a video of Loudermilk giving a tour of the Capitol on January 5th, 2021. So it's worth asking, why lie? What's he trying to hide? If everything is on the level, why try to bury the fact that you did lead a tour with people who would ultimately end up seeking to assassinate a bunch of Democrats? And also, one last question. How dumb is Barry Loudermilk to not realize that there might just be cameras in the US Capitol that might have easily recorded the fact that he gave a tour? Tell you what, they might be dangerous, but man, no one ever said they were smart. Now, as for the footage released by the January 6th committee, the guest of Loudermilk in the video showed a flagpole purposefully fashioned with a spear on the end. And of course, very famously, we know that a flagpole was indeed used as a weapon to bludgeon a police officer. Which is not to say that this was the same flagpole that was used, but rather two things. First, these people anticipated violence. The most recent political event I went to was to see Katie Porter speak. I didn't come with a weapon, I came with a chocolate chip muffin. You don't come to the Capitol with the political rally version of a shiv if you don't believe that you might use it. And second of all, and this is less important but still worth saying, I find it so telling how so many of these quote-unquote patriots found it appropriate to make their weapon of choice while staging a coup the American flag. In case you needed an example of just how perverse their definition of the Constitution and democracy is, this should speak volumes. Next, the video shows this person specifically, overtly calling out Schumer, Pelosi, Nadler, and AOC, saying, quote, "We're coming for you, there's no escape," and even threatening to rip all of Pelosi's hair out of her head. In other words, this person clearly went to both the Stop the Steal rally and the Capitol tour with the intention of hurting or killing Democratic elected officials in their offices. He was clearly there to find these people and attack them, what with him admitting as much. Meaning that when that same person was captured on camera taking photos of security checkpoints and stairwells, that doesn't exactly bode well for his case that he wasn't doing some type of reconnaissance. And look, to be clear, you can take photos of anything. This is a free country. If you want to take a photo of a toilet bowl, knock yourself out. But it's still certainly worth noting that while on a tour of the US Capitol, in all of its glory, this guy decided that security checkpoints and stairwells were worth being documented. Especially when that same guy, not even 24 hours later, would be carrying a spear and be headed toward that same building while vowing to, quote, come for Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler, and AOC. In fact, Congressman Boyle from Philly tweeted in response to Loudermilk's guest taking photos of that stairwell, quote, "This is the stairwell I take to my office. In my 8 years here, I have never seen a tourist taking a picture of it." But hey, let's not rule out the possibility that when this guest of Loudermilk isn't fashioning spears to attack Democratic lawmakers and senators, he might also be an aficionado of stairs. Now, of course, when confronted with the fact that he got caught lying, Barry Loudermilk had plenty of excuses already prepared.
It was just another day.
In the video, it clearly shows an individual taking photos of a security checkpoint in the basement that leads to the Capitol.
What they were taking a picture of is I took the family, and of course the other folks were with them, have 2 young kids that wanted to see the little trains that take congressmen. So I took them to show them where the trolley was in the Rayburn Tunnel.
But why do you think pictures were being taken of the stairwell, around security?
If you go to that stairwell, there's a golden eagle sconce that's on the wall. That's what he was taking a picture of. I mean, these are folks who had never been to Washington, D.C., and they were here to visit their congressman, and they were excited.
Why not just speak to the committee and just...
Because the committee's never called me and asked me anything.
They sent a letter asking for your
to
voluntary
who?
Cooperation.
They never sent it to me.
Your office never received it?
No, never. Never received a letter, never received a phone call, never received an email. They sent it to you guys. I found out about it on my way to the airport a month ago. So when I get on the plane, I see my picture on TV screens all over the plane as some kind of evil conspirator.
Pretty interesting how, before the video was released, Loudermilk's memory was so foggy that he didn't even remember giving a tour. And yet, immediately after the January 6th committee released proof that he was lying, suddenly Loudermilk doesn't just remember the tour, but he remembers every single intricate detail, including the individual sconces on the stairwell. But hey, you know what they say about memory. When it rains, it pours. Or something. So going back to that tweet by Barry Loudermilk, he might have been lying about the fact that he did indeed give a tour of the Capitol on January 5th, but he was right about one thing: the truth will always prevail. To see more videos like this, click the subscribe button right here on this screen. And to support my work beyond that, check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I cover the week's most important stories and interview the biggest players in the world of politics, including President Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, and so many more. The link is also right here on this screen. And finally, to take action yourself and sign petitions on the most important issues, go to briantylercohen.com/petition.